Everybody, welcome back to the Spindle. I'm your host, Jay Friesen, with my other host.
I was going to say, and I'm your lackey. I'm Brian Mattson. This is the Spindle portion of Dead Reckoning TV. This is the portion of our show where Jay and I sort of banter and talk about, hot burning issues of the day, current events, and we try to do so through the lens of our Christian faith.
Yes, we do.
I guess that's a Christian faith lens. Triangle. It's Trinitarian, see? Something like that. So, Jay, what's on your Spindle?
I don't have a lot on my Spindle. So last week, I don't know that anybody noticed this. My mom had mentioned that I was less animated than usual. Mm-hmm. You know, because moms are always the best critics.
Right.
Well, I'd come down. I'd been working outside, doing some landscaping in the cold, drizzly rain. Thought, you know what? I'm home for a couple days. Need to do this, get it done, and just no downtime. Just call it good.
Right.
Well, fast forward to Wednesday. Thursday, we filmed Dead Reckoning. Friday, I come into the studio. I get everything posted for the show. I start feeling just horrible. And I'm like, I'm going to go home and lay down. I'm going to try to kill this thing, whatever's trying to attack me.
Is this a very long-winded way of saying you got sick?
So I lay down on Friday afternoon. You're going to
regale us with all the gory details.
I don't remember much of anything until Sunday morning.
Wow. Friday afternoon to Sunday morning.
Finally went and saw the doctor on Tuesday. He said I had pneumonia turned bronchitis.
Oh, okay.
And last night I'm driving home from Shotgun Sporting Clay League, and I get an earache. So this thing just will not leave me alone. Right. So I'm home last night doing all the kitchen cleanup and all the picking up because the wife is in bed and kids are in bed. And I start putting the dishes away. Mm-hmm. How many kids do I have?
You have two.
Two. Okay. How many sippy cups do you think I loaded into the dishwasher last night?
You're preaching to the choir, bro. You are preaching.
How many? No, go on.
choir.
Give me a guess.
I think you probably had to put a dozen sippy cups.
Nine.
I was close.
Sippy cups.
I was close. I have the same
kids.
problem in my household. I now have three girls, but only, and they're not using sippy cups. But we do have this collection of IKEA stackable children's cups.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and there's there's a dozen of them, right? Every single one of those cups gets used every single day. I am like, girls, can you pick a cup and use it? Just stick with it. Nope. Use them all. I put them all into the dishwasher every single night. So you're preaching to the choir. Yeah, just one of
My daughter has a thing for sippy cups. It doesn't matter whose it is or where it's at. If she sees it, she'll take it and suck on it. She loves them.
My goodness. Wow. Well, okay. So you got sick. You got bronchitis.
I got bronchitis. I got nine sippy cups for two kids in the dishwasher.
Bronchitis did not interfere with your clay shooting.
No.
You did well.
I think normally when I go see a doctor, I tend to not get lucky. And it's like, it's viral. We can't do anything for you. Well, I think in this case it was actually bacterial because he gave me some antibiotics and it was good. So yes, I was able to shoot and I got the highest score ever, 57. I'm a terrible shot. It's only my second year doing it.
Okay. Yeah, so don't laugh at that 57. You only got 57. That means you got 57 clays out of 100?
Out of 100, yeah.
Well, it's probably better than I would do.
It's kind of like I bowl. I'm lucky if I break 100 when I bowl.
See, I play chess. That's your Thursday night is your clay sporting league. My Thursday nights have become go to my father-in-law's house, drink some wine, and play a 3-hour game of chess.
Wow.
So, last night, thankfully, it didn't go all...
Only because I'm imagining my dad playing chess, which kind of makes me chuckle.
It didn't go 3 hours. We went 2.5, and I crushed him. See, he actually beat me last week, which is why world events spun out of control. It's because the world was just off kilter, and that huge snapping sound that you heard last night at around 10 o'clock p.m. was the universe cracking itself back into proper position. Brian crushed his father-in-law in chess, as it should be. So he played a Caro-Kann defense with black, if you're interested. And I was able to gain an immediate space advantage on move 3, which proved to be a thorn in his side the entire game and ended up breaking open his king side for an astonishing queen-rook attack. It was nice.
I'm trying to think of something colorful to say, like if you were play by play.
Yeah, like a play by play.
Beautiful.
Is he going to move this pawn? No, it'd be like golf, right? And well, he could move the pawn to d5. Is he going to move the pawn to d5? Oh no,
Don't know. So I wore
Anyway, that
something
was
very
fun.
similar. Speaking of British accents, I wore something very similar to shooting last night.
Oh, that's really
And,
cool.
and so my one of my teammates is kind of making fun of the tie. You know, he's retired and
he's a
independently wealthy.
Montanan.
Anyway.
He's not into this British, Like,
I said, you know what? This is a gentleman's sport. He's like, that's what they say. And then some guy later did tell me, he's like, hey, we've got a gentleman shooter over here. We don't see those too many anymore. I
like
a little
it.
qualified.
So did you hear that New York Times editor Jill Abramson just got fired?
No.
Yeah, she got fired. And I only bring this up. I know that the New York Times is, America's newspaper.
It's the New York
and
Times,
It's
right.
the New York Times. And anyway, it was the big buzz yesterday is that Abramson is out. Pinch Sulzberger has fired her. And, Jill Abramson was a real cheerleader. You know that when she got the job as executive editor of the New York Times, did you know this? Little known fact. She has a big New York Times tattoo. Anyway, she got fired.
Tattoo removal, anyone?
Yeah, tattoo removal. So she got fired, and the rumor has it that the instigation of all of this is that Jill Abramson discovered that she's being paid less than her male
no.
predecessor. Which, now come on, guys. I don't care where you are politically. You got to love this irony. The New York Times for years has been bashing on the pay disparity, equal pay for women, and war on women and all of this. And their executive editor was getting paid less than Bill Keller, their previous editor. I mean, come on. That's delicious.
Oh, the irony.
That is delicious.
So how much do you think you could... How much would it take to get a Dead Reckoning tattoo on you?
You'll never get a tattoo on me.
All right.
I mean, you do not. Would you take finger paints?
Then you'd have to fire yourself.
And paint over a Rembrandt.
Now, see,
Look
here's
at
what I
this
don't
body.
get.
Look at. Would you paint over a Rembrandt? Look at this canvas. This beautiful canvas. No, you're not going to get me to get a tattoo.
Here's what I wonder about the pay disparity thing. Like, I never come in to a job, no matter what gender I am, expecting that I might be somewhere within a particular salary of another person. Because they might have been more qualified than me. I might be more qualified for them. They may have brought more experience or whatever. Right. Mm-hmm. Why does gender have to play a role?
Well, it's part of it's one of these feminist myths that women, they're still being shut out from the good life because men are getting paid more. It actually isn't true. I mean, they float this figure. Barack Obama was floating this figure recently. Again, they get paid 70 cents on the dollar, right? They get 70 cents for what a man does for a whole dollar. There's all sorts of factors. That's such a misleading figure. There's all sorts of factors. Women generally have all kinds of other life experience, different life choices. A lot of them are out of the workforce for a time to raise kids, so they have less experience. There's all kinds of factors that factor into it, which is why in the White House itself, women get paid less than men.
Now, interestingly, I have actually had... I'm not going to try to downplay the plight of women in the professional workforce because I think there is still there is definitely some holdover. In fact, as an example, when I was in Nashville and then LA right after that, I talked with several women who both made interesting comments to me along the lines of, well, it's easier for you to make it a go in the industry because you're a man. And I didn't probe that.
And I'm like, and so... we having testosterone levels dropping here, or like, where's our deal? Where's our?
I don't
TV
know. Like,
deal?
I was just like,
huh?
I was like, okay,
you're a man. You should be getting this done.
I thought, okay, there's probably something legitimate there, but I didn't probe it, But there's got to be something there, otherwise women wouldn't clamor over it all over the place.
Yeah, they would. We live in a grievance culture.
You sexist pig.
Well, maybe we live in a grievance culture. We live in a culture where envy is the rule of the day. How come it's all about income inequality? It's income inequality. The other guy's getting more than me, and that's not fair.
Now, that's a really interesting point if you think about it in terms of the deeper the deeper sort of heart issue, if you
Yeah,
will.
I think
it's
envy's driving a lot of our culture.
Covetousness. We always want the next big house out
And
in the
narcissism.
suburbs,
Me,
and
me, 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 me.
cars. And
I just read a great piece.
I deserve this great job.
I deserve a lot of things. I deserve to sit at a commencement for my college graduation and not hear anything that might offend me. Look at this generation. Look at this culture. How many times somebody gets invited to come give a commencement address and all the students go, wah, wah, oh no, he believes things I don't believe. And as we all know, college education is about never having to hear opposing points of view, right? So we can't. Now, I heard a great point. Somebody said, look, this is a whole generation that has been raised on, our entire lives have been chosen by ourselves. We never have to watch a commercial. We choose the app that we want.
Even our athletic sporting games, our favorite athletic sporting games, every side gets a turn. Okay,
Yeah.
now it's your turn to play offense.
But there's this idea where we have a whole culture of people who their whole lives are personally selected. Right. We have such an array of choices out there that we select it. I go to Starbucks and I can make up the most confounded, caffeinated beverage just to my liking. Everything is to my liking. And so a commencement address, I'm going to hear somebody I don't agree with. Wait a minute, I didn't choose this. This is not to my liking. And it's like we're raising this whole generation of sissies.
Well, the one phrase that keeps running over and over in my head as I'm raising my 3-year-old son, especially in this particular phase, is like, and the kids, my daughter's 19 months, and they're starting to fight over stuff. Mm-hmm. If you have, I want this coat, and that's what happens. And it's like, stop. The world does not revolve around you. The world does not revolve around you. And so we're spending ample time praying about sharing and being nice to other people. And that requires coming outside of yourself and saying, you know what, I'm not going to think only about myself in this case. I am going to think about the welfare and the well-being of somebody else.
Look out for the interests of others ahead of yourselves. That's the Apostle Paul. He wrote that. That was something my father instilled in us at a very young age. It was always look out for the interests of others ahead of yourself. So he raised us to be the sorts of people that, and I always admired this about my dad, and is that when you walk in a crowd of people, look for the wallflower. Look for the person who's not being included. Look for the person who's sitting in a corner and not talking to anybody. And go engage this person, looking out for the interests of others ahead of yourselves. And that was just a great life rule there.
I was doing some research for a relationship that I'm going to make here soon, and I was watching a movie over the weekend called...
That sounded weird. I was doing some research for a relationship I'm going to start soon.
Yeah, no, well...
You are married.
Okay, that does sound weird.
A business relationship.
It is.
Okay,
it is.
good.
I'm trying to...
Just making sure you weren't on
I'm
some
just getting
dating
to
site
know
somewhere.
people in the industry and what movies they've made and everything else. And
Okay.
it was actually a movie about that very point, reaching out to your wallflower friend, who's the person who's not getting... And in this case, the point the movie made was you have a risk of, suicide and school violence and things like that if you don't actually reach out to these people. And I thought, that's good. And that's why that's why I'm training my son to be like, look, get outside of yourself. Mm-hmm. Get outside of yourself. Look towards the interest of others and do something positive for somebody, because you know what, kid? You don't deserve it all. You don't deserve the salary that your previous boss had. You don't deserve.
Oh,
you don't
really?
deserve. You don't deserve the car that you don't
sexist.
have money to pay for. You don't deserve
that house
that
you can't afford.
That you can't afford.
But they're trying to,
You don't deserve. You don't deserve to
mortgage
eat
for
out
it.
every single night of the week.
We don't deserve anything. You know what? What do we have that we have not been given? I'm not saying don't shoot for a higher salary, but earn it. Don't get it because you complain that it's not fair. Earn it. That's the thing.
There's a verse somewhere floating around in my head. Father of lights, every good and perfect gift comes from
down from the Father of lights. That's James. It's in the book of James. Anything else going on in the world? We could talk geopolitical issues.
Oh yeah, what's going on with what's your take on the Ukraine stuff? Anything new besides Obama making you mad with?
Well, I mean, it's sort of the
weak mandates.
Yeah, it's the impotence of our influence. Did you like that? The impotence of our influence.
Speaking of which, the titles for last week's show, you're really good at the alliteration thing. You must have the seminary degree or something.
Seminary doesn't. Well, I guess it can help you.
Preachers alliterate everything.
No, I wanted to talk. America's influence is waning in the world, and this came home this last week because of the Boko Haram kidnapping of 240 some odd girls from a Catholic school.
Speaking of getting downplayed in the news, in school slaughters.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So Boko Haram, this is an Islamic terrorist group in Nigeria. They have kidnapped 240 some odd, 46, I believe. Girls from a Catholic school.
Yeah, and then back up to
threatening-
February and March when they've
slaughtered
slaughtered whole colleges.
Yeah, this is a nasty. These people are nasty pieces of work. So they've taken these girls from a Catholic school and they're promising to sell them into slavery, and really nothing is being done about it. At least not maybe behind the scenes. People are, I think there's only one way of resolving this issue, and that is we have people who are trained to, break things and kill people, to go rescue the girls. And this is doable. This is possible. But this week, the First Lady, Michelle Obama, tweeted a picture of herself holding a placard with a hashtag on it that says, "Bring back our girls." Fine. But there is sort of this addiction in our culture to we think that tweeting hashtags somehow actually does something out there in the real physical world. Mark Stein had a great piece this week where he
Solidarity. We're showing and expressing solidarity.
Wonderful, but expressing solidarity doesn't actually get anything done. Mark Stein points out that for a long time, people treat dealing with real world problems this way. They call on government too. So if we get a bunch of people together who say, let's call on government for equal pay for women, that somehow there's this illusion that calling on government to do something actually accomplishes it. And Mark Stein says, now we have the sad spectacle where our government is calling on somebody to do something. Everybody's calling on somebody to do something, but you know what? Somebody has to take leadership. That leadership role used to belong to the United States of America. It used to be the kind of world where our allegiance and our allied relationship with Nigeria would mean the sort of thing that somebody would think twice before kidnapping 246 young girls from a Catholic school, because there's muscle behind this relationship. We're pretty flabby these days. Nobody seems very deterred from achieving.
Well, and you have
ends.
Michelle Obama standing with solidarity, asking the U.S.
I don't mind the solidarity. I'm not knocking her.
She is the
for
U.S.
that.
government asking herself for help.
Well, that's the sort of the thing. I mean, and I'm not knocking her for expressing solidarity. That's fine. Hashtags are really great so long as they're backed up with bullets.
There's our hashtag.
There's a hashtag.
Hashtag.
Back it up with bullets.
Hashtag. Bash
These
it
are
up with
evil
bullets.
people doing evil things, and we're all just going to stand around and tweet each other with hashtags about how horrible this is and bring back our girls. I'm sorry, I don't think Boko Haram is on Twitter. I don't think they're going, oh man, this hashtag is really trending. Maybe we should give the girls back. That's not the way the real world works. There are bad people doing bad things, and guess what? God has established an institution that is designed to punish the evildoer. It's called the civil government.
Don't go knocking everybody that wants to stand behind something but can't feel like they can do anything.
Didn't I just begin this rant by saying I'm really not knocking Michelle Obama for, actually, she can do something. She can tell her husband to do something.
Go ahead, civil government.
Civil government, that's what it's for. That is what it is for. It is to punish evildoers. It is to deter this sort of evil. This is something that should be taken care of, I think, in conjunction with a number of interested and allied parties. There are, half a dozen countries that have special forces capable of rescuing these girls without getting them all killed. And I think they should be teaming up, getting together, and getting this done. This is doable.
Back it with bullets. It's our new hashtag. Let's get it trending.
When it comes to things like this, let's back it with bullets.
Back it with bullets.
With our political disagreements, we are not saying back it with bullets.
Back it with bullets.
Evil Islamic fanatic slave traders of young girls.
Back it with
Back
bullets.
it with bullets. That's my view.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
good. Cool.
Anything else?
Well, no. We have one more.
One more episode of the season next week. Today on our Above the Pay Grade segment, be sure to check that out. We are having onto the show wonderful, talented artist Taylor Line to talk about faith.
He makes his exclusive income off of eBay.
We're going to talk about that, but this is the intersection of faith and art.
And selling original works on eBay.
Get them while they're cheap, folks. We'll give you the link.
Who knew? And I do have a correction for some of our friends out there.
We don't make mistakes.
We do. Well, we didn't actually make some mistakes. I think this was a mistake in the communication, the sender versus the receiver. So when I mentioned last week that if you want to see us on the cable network Juice TV, to hit them up, Juice TV _network on Twitter.
Let me guess.
And
all of our fans hit them up and Juice got mad?
No, it's Juice TV, JUCE TV.com or at Juice TV _network on Twitter. No, what had happened is somebody had thought I said Juicy TV and then Googled it.
Oh, dear.
And it's like your favorite adult videos.
Oops.
Just laying that out there. I responded to that commenter on YouTube. I was like, it's juice, not juicy. Juicy.
Yeah, we
that juicy double.
Maybe we should have probably thought of that before we said it, but
No, I didn't even think about it. I said juice.
This is the way that you did say juice.
But hey,
right.
it's all good.
Something
it's all good. So yeah, hit them up.
In transmission.
Hit them up. I'm waiting to get that meeting scheduled when I go to LA in June, but I'm sure they'd love to hear from you at Juice TV _network on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter. I'm at Brian G. Mattson.
I'm at Jay Friesen, JAYFRIESEN.
At D Reckoning TV on Twitter and D Reckoning TV on Facebook.
And we do read the comments. I usually read the comments, all of them, and I generally respond to you. And in fact, we're responding to one this week. We're talking about the Apocrypha on the commentary.
Yes,
so don't miss it. I'm Jay Friesen.
I'm Brian Mattson.
And this is Dead Reckoning.